Good morning. Now, everyone, look around this room. I bet every person here got their education through the formal school system. But in the Philippines, there are an estimated 6.8 million youth and young adults who haven't finished junior high school. They are the ones labeled out-of-school youth, out-of-school adults, deprived, and underserved. By school here, we mean formal school. For them, the path to a better life is the alternative learning system, or ALS. It's a promise, a vital second chance. But for decades, this promise has been crippled by a simple, brutal reality. The system is largely analog and underfunded, receiving less than 1% of the public education budget. The ALS is still heavily reliant on paper and pencil-based tests and face-to-face learning modality. In a rapidly digitizing world, we are asking our most marginalized learners to win a 21st century race with 20th century tools. Our project, MyHill ALS, or My Home-Based and Independent Learners Link, was born to fix this fundamental contradiction. But as the years passed, we realized that we were fixing something even bigger. When we started back in 2017, we found out that the ALS program was virtually non-existent in the form of a holistic online ecosystem. The independent learners, the home-based learners, learners with health challenges, the financially challenged learners, the adult learners, and the overseas workers were all navigating a fragmented learning experience heavily reliant on brick-and-mortar learning centers, mostly situated inside formal public schools. There was a critical void, an infrastructure gap. We stepped in, not as a competitor, but as the missing digital backbone. We built a comprehensive online hub, providing everything from enrollment and registration to monitoring, assessments, and networking. And here is the key that unlocked this possibility. MyHill ALS found trusted support and technical assistance from a progressive government partner through the Department of Education Makati Division, with whom we signed a memorandum of agreement. This MOA isn't just a handshake. It's a profound validation. It signifies that a progressive government body officially recognizes a non-governmental organization that is filling a void in its own system. We are now a catalyst for digital evolution of public alternative education. This is our learning community framework. Notice how MyHill, representing any ALS community-based learning centers, is situated as a hub connecting with its community partners. We get technical support and alignment for the DepEd ALS program from the Department of Education. We serve as the ALS program hub for learners from registration to completion. We become a bridge to formal schools and training centers for collaboration and integration. We help close the gap between academe and workplace by providing experts and mentors from organizations and the corporate world a structured learning training opportunity for them to share their practical knowledge and industry exposure without the burden of academic regimen. We have fully realized the left half of this framework. We are currently on the road to realizing the other half of our community framework, which is the most challenging part. Because this is the next frontier that needs to accept the inevitable paradigm shift on the emergence of alternative education solutions. Let's face it, despite the technological developments that pervades us, most academic systems, especially those of basic education, are still heavily anchored on formal school structures. This works for others. However, there is an unavoidable younger generation that will seek a different structure that embodies the technological systems they all grew up in. Technological systems that are open and embraces an open learning environment. We've proven that this lean tech-driven model, built on finding the perfect fit of free or discounted tools like Google Workspace, Testmoz, Khan Academy, and many others, provides a high-quality, high-impact solution at a fraction of the cost the government will spend if it builds its own closed system. An open learning system needs an open architecture. And this is the build that we are headed to based on our learning frameworks. It's not just an LMS. It's not just an SMS, but an ERP in 3D. We are thereby becoming a strategic partner for progress. But infrastructure is nothing without a soul. Our core intellectual property is our unique and contemporary learning framework, a synthesis of 4 distinct educational philosophies. It's how we transform second-chance students into 21st century learners. We don't just teach what to think, we teach how to be. At the top, we have perennialism with the mantra, I believe. This is the faith-based foundation grounding learners in universal ethics, character, and the pursuit of the general good. On the left, we have essentialism with the mantra, I understand. This is inquiry-based, ensuring they acquire the foundational knowledge in core subjects like math, sciences, languages, and the discipline necessary for citizenship. On the right, we have creativism, though still a fresh philosophical term that I am introducing in my research. Creativism uses the mantra, I create. This is output-based methodology pushing them into problem-solving, project-based learning, and design thinking to prepare for a dynamic world. But the magic happens in the middle. Progressivism. This is the experiential learning core. It's the dynamic process that resolves the tension between traditional knowledge and modern skills. This is the learning framework we integrated into DepEd's basic ALS curriculum framework, thereby producing an augmented MyHill ALS curriculum framework. And to support our learning and curriculum framework, we have come to realize how different blended learning modalities can be organized based on tech resources and availability to be able to service learners from all walks of life. The core knowledge and timeless truths don't sit in a textbook. They become the raw materials that are actively explored and transformed through hands-on project-based learning into new creative outputs. This elegant causal chain gives our learners both a disciplined intellect and the flexible, innovative skills they need. Does it work? Absolutely. We've seen an estimated 300% learner population growth annually. We've transitioned from 14 learners and 2 graduates in 2017 to 166 learners and 75 graduates to date. And this can be replicated. Our graduates pass the DepEd equivalency exams and are trained to prepare quality portfolios, which makes them very much prepared for the 4 exits of DepEd ALS program, which are to obtain full-time jobs, to set up a business, to move up to college, or to further upskill themselves. And all of this growth has been fueled purely by word of mouth through social media and Google searches. Our community-centric model makes parents and guardians active advocates and co-creators. This is a clear indicator of a mission-driven organization with a highly effective model. But we've hit a wall, an inflection point. Our success has outstripped our volunteer and donation capacity. We can't open our doors to more learners unless we have serious funding in place to sustain our operations and continue to build the laundry list in our tech pipeline. Our digital roadmap forges on. From automating our registration and integrating our databases to creating a formal training program for ALS learning facilitators that will allow us to scale the MyHill ALS model into hopefully a Makati division-wide online ALS learning hub and the ALS as an HR benefits initiative. The funding isn't just for proving a concept. It is for scaling a proven model. Then you wonder, why doesn't the government partner fund this initiative? The Philippine government of late, as what has been said in the news, is riddled with corruption scandals, and the Department of Education has not been spared. This problem of corruption, coupled with the very late digitization and digitalization of the Philippine education systems, are the reasons why our DepEd is still focused on building classrooms and improving the quality of basic reading, math, and science. Alternative education, therefore, is still far from their list of priorities. Hence, this is where we, private citizens, step in to assist our government by preparing the path to a structured e-learning ecosystem that will prove useful to the laggards maybe 5 to 10 years from now. The MyHill ALS e-learning model is not about selling a software solution or a tangible tech device. It is solving a structural problem using an integrated system of affordable and user-friendly tech solutions that have stood the test of time. MyHill ALS is not just a local success story. It's a globally relevant solution. We are listed on 100.org, an organization that identifies the impactful and scalable education innovations from around the world. And we are also currently chosen as a member of the first accelerator cohort for Scale NCR, a consortium between government and academe dedicated to fostering the growth and advancement of startups within the dynamic landscape of the National Capital Region in the Philippines. These third-party validations prove that the MyHill ALS model has the potential to be replicated locally and, who knows, even globally. We are leading the charge for an equitable and open education for the future. Join us in turning this second chance for millions of alternative learners into a sustainable, scalable, and powerful reality. Thank you very much. To hear the story of one of our first batch of learners, I would like to introduce to you Michelle, who is now a senior student at the Ateneo de Manila University, one of our premier universities in the Philippines.
It's 5:30 a.m. The sun has barely risen and all you hear is a 5-year-old girl crying, begging not to go to school. But why would she hate school so much? She used to love learning and making friends. Something else was going on. She was being bullied, not just by classmates but also by her teacher. She was being picked on for everything, even being left outside during class for speaking too much English. At that age, she had few friends and no teacher she could trust. It made her anxious and scared to socialize and hate school. Hello everyone, I am Michelle Cornejo and that little girl was me. I am a MyHill Alternative Learning System graduate and now a senior at Ateneo de Manila University, the highest ranked university in the Philippines according to the Times Higher Education World University Rankings, taking AB Communication with a specialization in advertising and image and sound production. My mom, a progressive educator, saw the pain school caused me. She pulled me out and homeschooled me and then enrolled me in the DepEd ALS in Makati City. I passed the National Achievement Test in 2016 for grade school and continued at MyHill ALS where I completed junior high. I was homeschooled for 10 years. When I share that, people get shocked. Weren't you lonely? You must have been so bored. Was it hard to get into a good university? To put it simply, no, it wasn't. Many say that I don't give off homeschooled vibes because there's a stereotype that homeschoolers are awkward or antisocial. But the truth is, I'm different. I wasn't homeschooled. I was an alternative learner, and at heart, I will always be. Being an ALS learner allowed me to experience life beyond home. I developed passions, I picked up hobbies through workshops and self-learning online, and what did I do with that knowledge? I utilized and applied it. Around age 9, I was obsessed with rainbow loom bracelets. My mom suggested I partner with a store in my condominium and have it sold at their store. And I did. Learning about capital, cost, revenue, and profit, I handled manufacturing, deliveries, and collections myself. ALS gave me more opportunities. I joined musical theater in 2014 and I started performing professionally from 2016 to 2020, and this is also when I started receiving paychecks. I learned how to budget, save, and manage expenses. I made friends from different backgrounds and countries. I lived through real-life experiences, becoming a social chameleon. And I explored interests freely, building skills for my career. Through music, I became a professional musician. Writing grew from stories to songwriting. Theater taught discipline and time management. Voice acting, music production, photography, and video editing became professional pursuits. Learning these practical life skills between the ages 9 and 16 shaped me into a functionally literate, prepared person. ALS instilled independence, adaptability, critical thinking skills, and self-motivation. It also helped me develop diskarte, a Filipino way of problem solving that combines creativity, flexibility, and resourcefulness, according to Morales 2017. It's about practical solutions and making things work, even with limited resources. I learned to take initiative, find solutions, keep learning beyond the classroom, and see challenges as opportunities. Experience mattered just as much as theory, and creativity was paired with discipline. And above all, I learned resilience, the ability to adapt and thrive in less than ideal conditions. I may not always be confident, but I know that in a difficult or unfamiliar situation, I will always get through it. At 15, I made the choice to return to school to earn a bachelor's degree. MyHill ALS helped me develop an independent mind. I chose my path, I set goals, and I made informed decisions. Two aspects of the program in particular helped me by strengthening my IQ and EQ. For my IQ, the accreditation and equivalency exam built my academic foundation through reading, memorization, and repetition. For my EQ, MyHill ALS's project-based learning allowed me to apply knowledge to real life, creating a tangible portfolio for proof. And this prepared me for my next path, returning to the institution I once ran away from. But this time, I was more than ready. I attended Mint Senior High for grades 11 and 12, specializing in theater arts, and I graduated with honors, and I got into my dream school, the Ateneo de Manila University. Even with demanding school hours, ALS lessons guided me. I continue learning from life, through work, hobbies, passions, friends, and family. I refuse to be limited by traditional institutions. MyHill ALS would never allow a learner to abandon their individuality. Despite deviating from the traditional school route that I was always questioned about by numerous people, here I am, graduating from the current top university in the Philippines. And though it may sound cliche, I am different. And it's because I am an alternative learner, through and through.